Good morning, students. In our previous class, we have learnt about central tendency and the measures of central tendency, isn't it? Yes. Students, actually what is meant by central tendency? Yes, it is a way of representing large amount of data by using single value, isn't it? Yes, in our previous class we have taken the performance of 10th standard students in the mathematics test. So for the section A, section B and section C we have found out the central tendency values, isn't it? Yes. So students, can you tell me the measures that we have used to find out the central tendency? Yes, you are correct. We have three central tendency measures, right? Yes, the one is the mean and the median and the mode. So, actually what is meant by mean, children? What is the definition of the mean? Yes, it is the sum of the values of all the observations divided by number of observations. And then what is meant by median then? Yes, you people are correct. It is the middlemost value in the given set of data. And what is meant by mode then? Yes, children, you are right. The mode is the value that occur frequently in the given set of data. So, mean, median, mode are the three measures that we have used to find out the central tendency. So, today in this class, we will use these three measures to find out the central tendency. Okay, so let's start the class. So, children, here you can see the runs scored by Smriti Mandana in 3 cricket matches of ICC Women's Championship are 56, 36 and 11. What is the average runs scored by her? So, what we have to find out here? Yes, here we have to find out the average runs. What does the average runs means? Here we have to find out the mean runs. So there is another name for mean, that is the average. So here you can see these three are the scores scored by Smriti Mandana in 3 cricket matches. So now let's start solving this. So here you can see these are the 3 scores scored by Smriti Mandana. So what is the formula for the mean, children? Yes, it is the sum of values of all observation divided by number of observations. So here you can see 56 and 36 and 11 are the observations. So here we have to add these 3 observations. And what about the denominator of this? Yes, here you can see this is 3. So 3 matches she had played. So here the mean is the sum of these 3 scores divided by number of matches. So what is the sum of these 3 scores? Yes, it is 103. When we divide 103 by 3, we get 34.3. So this is the average run or a mean run scored by Smriti Mandana. As you can see here, the average runs scored by Smriti Mandana in 3 cricket matches is 34.3. Yes. Then, now let us see one more question. So, here the question is, the following numbers of goals were scored by a team in a series of 10 matches. 2, 3, 4, like this. These are the scores scored by the team. So, here we have to find out the mean, median and the mode for this scores. For this single question, we have to find out mean, median and mode. So let's start that. So actually what is meant by mean? In your previous problem we have learnt the formula for mean, that is the sum of all observation divided by number of observations. So here you can see 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 1, 3, 3, 4, 3. These are all goals scored by the team. So we have to add all these scores and then we have to divide it by number of matches. So here you can see it is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So The total number of observation is 10 here. So student, what is the sum of these numbers then? Yes, you people are correct. That is 28. When we divide 28 by 10, we get 2.8. So here the mean score scored by the team is 2.8. So here we have found out the first asker question, that is the mean. Now we have to find out the median for this data. So here you can see these are the scores and the number of observation here is even. So in our yesterday's class we have learnt two formulas for mean, right? One is for even and another is for odd. So here the number of observation is even. So which formula should we use here? Yes, you people are right. The median will be the mean of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation, isn't it? Yes. So therefore the median is the mean of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation. So children, let us arrange these data into an ascending order. This is the first step in finding the median, right? Yes, we have to arrange the data in ascending order first. Then we have to find out the median. So here you can see I have arranged the data in the ascending order. So now let's find out the n by 2th term here, that is n by 2th observation. So as you can see here, the number of observation is 10. So 10 by 2 is nothing but 5th observation. So what is the 5th observation in this data, children? Yes, you are correct. It is 3. So 3 is the 5th observation in this data. Then what we have to find out next? Yes, we have to find out n by 2 plus 1th observation. So now let's start that. So here the number of observation is 10. Therefore 10 by 2 plus 1th observation will be 5 plus 1th observation. That means it is 6th observation. So student, which is the 6th observation in this data? Yes, it is again 3, right? So here you can see it is 3. So what is the next step then? How to find out median? Yes, we have to take the mean for these two values. So let's do that. So the mean of these three numbers, that is the 3 plus 3 divided by 2 gives again a 3. So here the median for this data is 3. So now let's start doing the mode. So children, what will the mode value here? Yes, as you can see in the data, the number of repetitions of 2 is 1. But the number of repetitions of 3 is, you can see, it is 4. And what about the 4? It is 1. And the 5 is also 1. 0 and 1. Both are repeated only one time. So here you can see the mode will be 3. Because the frequency of 3 is 4. So the mode will be 3 here. Then. So students, here we have a question. One more question. So the following observations have been arranged in ascending order. If the median of the data is 63, find the value of x. So these are the observations they have given, isn't it? Yes. So as in the question you can see, they have already told us they have arranged these numbers in an ascending order. So we no need of doing it once again. So these observations are already arranged in an ascending order. So the one more data they have given, the median of the data is 63. So here the median is given, but we have to find out the value of x. So this is the question. So Children, can you tell me how many observations are there in this given data? Yes, it is even no. Then how much? Yes, you people are correct. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here the number of observation is 10. That is even. So we have to use the formula for the median, which has an n even observations. That is, the median of a mean is n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation. So the median of this data is the mean of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation. So here let us find out the n by 2th observation here. So as you can see here, the n is 10. So 10 by 2th observation will be, yes, it is 5th observation. So what is the 5th observation in the given set of data? Find out. 5th observation means 5th positioned data. That is, this is the first position, this is the second position, third, fourth and fifth. So this is our 5th observation value. So here the 5th observation is x. Now we have to find out n by 2 plus 1th observation. So what is meant by n by 2 here? It is 5, no? So 5 plus 1th observation will be, yes, it is 6th observation. So what is the value of 6th observation in this data, children? Yes, it is n plus 2, right? So the 6th observation in the given set of data is x plus 2. So next what we have to do? Yes, we have to find out the mean for these two observations, right? Yes, now let's find out that. So the median is equals to mean of these two values, that is x plus x by 2 is the median here. So in the question they have given the median value, that is 63. So in the place of median we can substitute 63. So what will it become? 63 is equals to 2x plus 2 divided by 2. Then here we have to find out the value of x. So what we have to do, children? Yes, we have to take cross multiplication, right? So we have to do cross multiplication. So on cross multiplying we get 2x plus 2 is equals to 2 times of 63 is nothing but 126. Then what is the next step? So here we have to find out the value of x. But plus 2 is not required for us. So we have to transpose this plus 2 to the other side. So what will it become? So 2x is equals to 126 minus 2, that is 124. So now find out the value of x. So what you have to do here? You have to transpose this 2 to the other side. Isn't it? Yes. So the value of x will be x is equals to 124 divided by 2. So what is the answer for this then? Yes, you people are correct. It is 62. So here the median value is given, that is 63, and we had found out the value of x, that is 62. So here 62 is the value of this x. Then students, it's a time for a question. Okay, I'll read out the question. Which of the following is true about the mean of a data set? Option A, it's the middle value of the data. Option B, it is the most frequently occurring value. Option C, it is the sum of all values divided by the number of values. Option D, none of these. And the time provided for this is 30 seconds. Yes, read out the question carefully and answer it. Yes, Here, yes, option C is the correct answer. Why option C is the correct answer? So in the question, which of the following is true about the mean of the data set? So here we have to see the definition of the mean. So what does the option A tells? It is the middle value of the data. So what is the middle value of the data we called? It is a median, right? Yes. So option A is not the answer. Then what about the option B? It is the most frequently occurring value. What does it mean? It is a mode, right? Yes. Then what about option C here? It is the sum of all values divided by the number of values. This is the definition of the mean, right? Yes. For this reason, option C is the correct answer. Yes. So children, here you can see the salary of 58 workers of factory are given in the table. Now here we have to find out the mean salary. So find the mean salary of 58 workers of a factory from the following table. So in this table you can see there are two columns, and the first column represents the salary and the second column represents the number of workers. That means these salaries are the observations, isn't it? Yes, and the number of workers are the frequency here. So this type of problem we have solved in our yesterday's class, isn't it? Yes. How to find the mean for tabulated data? We have a specific formula for that, right? Which was that? Yes, x bar is equals to summation fi xi divided by summation fi, isn't it? Yes. So this salary column we will take it as xi because these are the observations. Then what about the number of workers column? It will be frequency column. So what is the next step, children? Yes, we have to find out the product of fi and xi. Then let's start that. So the product of 3016 is 48,000. What about the product of this 4,000 into 10? It is 40, right? Yes. Then what is the next value? Yes, it is 50. Then what is the product of 6,000 and 8? It is 48,000. Then what about the product of 7,006? It is 42,000. Then what is the product of 8,000 into 4? It is 32,000. Like this we have to find out the values of fi xi. Then what is the next step? Yes, correct. We have to find out sigma fi. So here the sigma fi is 58. In the question itself they have given the number of workers. So that is 58. Then what is the next step here? Yes, we have to find out summation of fi and xi. So the summation of fi xi here is 2,97,000. So here we have found out summation fi xi and also summation fi. Then what is the next step? Yes, we have to use the formula to find out the mean, right? So the formula for mean for this type of data, that is for tabulated type of data, we use sigma, yes, sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. So the value of sigma fi xi is 2,97,000. And what about the sigma fi? Yes, it is 58, isn't it? Yes, we have used it. So on simplification we'll get 5,120.68. So here the mean salary is 5,120 rupees and 68 paisa. Then here is one more question for you. Yes, the question is the median of the data. So here these are the datas. You have to find out the median for this data. Here the options are 30 by 2, option B 31 by 2, option C 33 by 2, option D 33. So The time starts now. So you have to find out the median value here. First, what you have to do? Yes, you have to arrange the data in ascending order. But in the question itself, the data are arranged in ascending order. No need of doing that. So you can directly find out the value of median here. Yes, here the answer is option C, that is 33/2. How to find out this? So here you can see the number of observation is even, that is n is equals to 6 here. So what will be the median? So the median will be mean of these two observations, isn't it? Yes, the median is equals to 16 plus 17 divided by 2. So what is the sum of 16 and 17? Yes, it is 33. So 33/2. So here 33 is an odd number and 2 is an even number. So division is not possible. So option C is the correct answer here. That is 33/2 is the answer. Then, so students, here we have to give one example of situation in each of this. So let's see that. Give an example of a situation in which a mean is an appropriate measure of central tendency, and also the mean is not an appropriate measure of central tendency, but the median is the appropriate measure of central tendency. So here we have to give two examples showing that mean is an appropriate measure of central tendency, and also showing that mean is not an appropriate central tendency and median is the appropriate measure of central tendency. So let us take the first thing here. So for this I have taken an example of heights of 7 students, as you can see here. So heights in centimeter of 7 students of class are as follows. So these are the heights of 7 students. So here you can see the difference between the data is not much bigger, isn't it? Yes. What I do is I'll arrange all these data into an ascending order. So here 154.9 centimeter is the lowest value. So this will be our first value, and then the next value is 158.8 centimeter, and the next value will be 160.1 centimeter, and then 161.8 centimeter. Then what about the next value? Yes, it is 163.3 centimeter, and the next value will be the 165.6 centimeter, and the last value will be 170.6 centimeter. So children, so these two are the extreme values here. So this is the smallest value and this is the largest value, isn't it? So these two are the extreme values. So the difference between the largest and the smallest value is very less here. So in such cases we use mean as an appropriate measure of central tendency. So here you can find out the mean for this data. So the mean will be the sum of all these observation divided by number of observation. So here the observations are heights of a student, isn't it? So we have to add all these heights and we have to divide it by number of students. So here the number of students is 7, so I am dividing it by 7. So students, can you tell me the sum of these numbers? Yes, you people are correct. It is 1135.1. So when we divide it by 7, we get 162.16 centimeter. So this is the mean value. So when data does not have extreme values difference, we use mean as an appropriate measure of central tendency. So the difference between the extreme value should be very less. It should be very small. Then we can use the mean as an appropriate measure to find the central tendency. Now let us see the example to show that the mean is not an appropriate measure. For this, I have taken the runs scored in cricket match. So these are the runs scored by a team in a cricket match. So here you can see there is an extreme values. So the smallest number is 39 and the largest number is 112. The difference between these two numbers is very large, right? So in such cases we cannot use mean as an appropriate central measure. So in this case we have to use median as an appropriate measure of central tendency. So now let's find out the median for this data. So what we have to do first? We have to arrange the data into an ascending order, right? So as you can see here, the data are already arranged in an ascending order. So no need of doing that. So we can write as it is. Then what is the next step? We have to find out the number of observations. So as you can see here, the number of observation is 7. So what is the formula for that? Yes, the median will be n by n plus 1th divided by 2th observation. That is, the median is n plus 1 by 2th observation. So here n is 7, therefore 7 plus 1 divided by 2 is, yes, you are correct, it is 4th observation, isn't it? Yes. So what is the value of 4th observation in this data, children? Yes, as you can see here, 56 is the 4th observation. So the median value for this will be 56. So we can tell if the extreme values are there, then we can use median as an appropriate measure. That means if the difference between extreme values is more, then we take median as an appropriate measure. If there is a difference between extreme values is very less, then we take mean as an appropriate measure for central tendency. So it's a question time now. Yes, I'll read out the question. Mode of the data 7.5, 7.3, 7.2, as you can see here, is option A 7.3, option B 7.5, option C 7.2, option D 7.6, and the time starts now. So children, what you have to do here? You have to find out the mode of the data. First, remember what is mode. Definition of the mode. Yes, here option C is the correct answer. How? Let's see that. So how many times does the 7.5 is repeated, children? So here you can see 7.5 is repeated twice. So the frequency of 7.5 will be 2. Then what about 7.3? Let's see that. 7.3 one time and 7.3 two times. Therefore 7.3 it will be again 2 times. What about 7.2? It is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 7.2 is 2 times. Sorry, it is 4 times. Then what about 7.4? 1 time. So the 7.4 is 1 time. And what about 7.7? 1, 2. So 7.7 is 2. And what about 7.6? So it is 1 time. So here you can see the frequency of 7.2 is 4. So this is the highest frequency. Because of this reason, option C is the correct answer. Okay. Then Now let's revise what we have studied in this chapter. So firstly, we have studied the range, right? The difference between the highest and the lowest score is called range. Then we have learnt the data. That is, the first is raw data. The data obtained in an original form before reorganizing is called raw data. That is, the data that we are obtained as a source is called as a raw data. And we also learned the frequency distribution table, right? Yes, the data represented in a tabular form by showing the frequency of each distribution is called frequency distribution table. So these are the important points you have to remember. So next, and also we have learnt the graphical representation of data. So firstly we have learnt the bar graph, and then the histogram, and then the frequency polygon, isn't it? Yes. So first we have learnt about the bar graph. Actually, what is meant by bar graph? Bar graph is a pictorial representation of data in which usually bars of uniform width are drawn with equal spacing between them on one axis. So here you can see this is the bar graph, and the marks scored by a student in different types of subjects are shown here. So when we use the bar graph, children, when we have discrete type of data, we use bar graph to represent it graphically. Okay, remember this. And then next we have learned the histogram. A histogram is a representation of frequency distribution by means of rectangles whose width represent class intervals. So in our class we have learned to draw histogram for varying width as well as for equal width, right? So here you can see this is the histogram for the saplings. So in this x-axis you can see class interval is mentioned, and on the y-axis frequency is mentioned. When we use the histogram to represent graphically, children? Yes, when we are given interval type of data, we will use histogram to represent it. Don't be confused between bar graph and histogram. Okay, both will use rectangular bars to represent the frequency, but the length of this rectangle represent the frequency in bar graph, but in the histogram it represents the area. Okay, the area represents the frequency here. Yes. Next, what we have learnt? We have learnt the frequency polygon. What is meant by frequency polygon, children? Yes, the frequency polygon is always a closed curve with n sides. Since it represents frequency, it is called frequency polygon. So this is the frequency polygon you can see here. So as you can see here, so this is the closed curve, right? Because of this reason we call it as a polygon. So the vertices of these polygon represents the frequency here. So here you can see this is the one vertex, so it represents the frequency, and this is also in one vertex, it is represents the frequency. So the vertices of this polygon will represents the frequency, isn't it, children? Yes, you have to remember all these while you are writing the exam, while you are studying. And we have learned the central tendencies. Yes, so we have three measures for central tendency. The one is the mean, and the second one is the median, and the last one is the mode. So what is meant by mean, children, here? It is the sum of values of all observation divided by number of observation. So in general we write like this: the sum of n observations divided by number of observations. So mathematically we can write this as x bar. So we usually represent mean by x bar. So x bar is equals to summation I is equals to 1 to n xi divided by n. So this is the formula for the mean. So what does this I represent here? It is the index. It can take the values from 1 till n. So here we can write it in simpler form, that is the x bar is equals to summation xi divided by n. Then the mean of observation is the sum of the values of all the observations divided by the total number of observations. So this is the definition for mean. Then it is denoted by the symbol x bar and read as x bar. So now let's see the second measure of central tendency, that is the median. So what is the steps we have to follow to find the median, children? So first we have to arrange the data in an ascending order, then we have to find out the median. To find out the median we have two formulas, right? Yes, when the number of observation is even we have one formula, and when the number of observation is odd we have another formula. Now let's see that. So if the number of observation is odd, then we can take the formula, that is the median is equals to the value of n plus 1 divided by 2th observation. So when the number of observation is even, we can take the formula, that is the median is equals to mean. Remember this, mean of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation. So the median will be the mean of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation. You have to remember this. Next, the last measure of central tendency, that is the mode. What is meant by mode? Mode is most popular and mode is the majority one. So we can define the mode as, the mode is the value that occur most frequently or most often in a given distribution. So these three are the central measure of central tendency we have used to find out the central tendency, isn't it? Yes. So you have to remember all these points while you are studying. Okay, children? Yes. And I would like to have your feedback. How do you feel? Option A, happy. Option B, quite good. Option C, satisfactory. Option D, confused. Students, all the best for your upcoming tests and exams. Thank you.